In the farthest corners of our planet, where night can last for months, and the silence is deeper than any ocean, walks a creature born of ice, wind, and silence. Alone, yet never weak. This is the polar bear. A symbol of raw power and deep fragility. But as the world warms, this majestic giant may be writing its final chapter in the snow. Welcome to the Arctic. Unlike Antarctica in the south, which is a landmass buried under ice, the Arctic is a frozen ocean, drifting under the northern stars. Here, temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Celsius. Winds roar across endless sheets of ice. And yet, life thrives. Fact drop. Polar bears, Ursus maritimus, are the largest land carnivores on Earth. Adult males can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. Their fur isn't white, it's transparent and reflects light. Their skin is black to absorb heat. The polar bear is built for survival. A swimmer, a tracker, a patient hunter. But survival in the Arctic depends on one thing: sea ice, food and behavior. Their primary prey is the ringed seal. Bears wait hours at seal breathing holes, using their powerful sense of smell. They can smell prey 1 kilometer away under snow and ice. Rare fact: a polar bear's nose is so sensitive, it can detect a seal's scent through 3 feet of ice. But hunting is not easy. Only 2 out of 10 hunts are successful. And as the ice melts sooner each year, the odds get worse. Deep beneath the snow, a miracle unfolds. A mother bear builds a snow den in late fall. Inside, in total darkness, she gives birth, usually to 2 cubs. She won't eat, drink, or leave for up to 8 months. All for her young. When she emerges in spring, she's half her weight, but carries the full hope of her lineage. Rare fact: cubs weigh just 1 pound at birth, smaller than a loaf of bread. They stay with their mother for about 2.5 years. These first years are critical. One wrong step, one missed hunt, could end it all. But now, their world is vanishing. Ice breaks earlier in spring, freezes later in fall. What once was frozen hunting ground becomes open sea. A starving bear with a cub struggling on a melting floe. A bear swimming miles in open water, exhausted. Stats: polar bear populations could decline by over 70% by 2050. In some regions, bears swim up to 100 kilometers to find ice. Cubs often drown or starve due to the long journeys. They are not just losing ice. They are losing time. Still, they endure. Not for glory. Not for strength. But because they must. Polar bears have been observed using tools, like ice chunks to hit seals. They communicate through snorts, growls, and paw gestures. They often greet each other with a nose touch. Imagine surviving in a land with no trees, no warmth, no shelter. Yet polar bears have perfected life here for hundreds of thousands of years. Rare adaptation facts: their fur is water repellent, keeping them dry even after long swims. A thick 4-inch layer of fat insulates them from deadly cold. Their footpads have papillae, tiny bumps for grip on ice. Behavioral intelligence: polar bears show remarkable problem-solving skills. They've been seen stacking snow, hiding behind ice blocks to ambush prey. Though often seen alone, polar bears are not always solitary. During mating season, bears may stay together for days. Play fighting, bonding, sharing warmth in a world that rarely offers it. Fascinating fact: male bears can walk over 100 kilometers in a day to find a mate by scent. But their biggest predator is us. Human impact. Industrial activity disturbs breeding grounds. Climate change leads to habitat fragmentation. Pollution, like mercury and microplastics, reach even the Arctic. In some villages, hungry bears wander into human settlements. A sign that the ice can no longer feed them. But not all is lost. Around the world, people are rising to protect them. Inuit-led conservation zones. International ban on polar bear hunting in most countries. Climate awareness driving policy change. These small steps, across continents, are helping keep this giant alive. The polar bear is not just a species. It's a living embodiment of the Arctic's ancient soul. In Inuit legends, polar bears are considered nanak, wise, near human beings. They symbolize courage, patience, and survival. In the frozen stillness, a mother bear leads her two cubs. Each step she takes is a lesson. Every scent she follows, a guide. She knows the ice is thinning. The seals are fewer. But she also knows, they must survive. This is more than a hunt. It's an inheritance. Passed not through stories, but through steps. While the polar bear fights silently for survival. The Arctic may seem distant. But what happens here doesn't stay here. Melting ice means rising seas. Displaced polar bears mean disturbed food chains. This isn't just about one species. It's about balance. A balance that affects us all. From coastal cities in Asia to forests in the Americas. The cry of the polar bear is echoing across the earth. But what can I do, you may ask? The answer, everything starts with one. One post. One pledge. One decision. Can spark thousands. You may never touch the Arctic snow. But your choices can shape its fate. And as the sun sets, a white shadow moves across the horizon. Not with fear. Not with rage. But with a quiet, ancient strength. Hoping that the world still cares. This is not just a wildlife story. It is a mirror of who we are. And who we can still choose to be. The story of the polar bear is not yet over. But the ending will be written by us. Will we be the generation that let the Arctic vanish? Or the one that stood tall, like the polar bear, and chose to fight? The snow begins to fall again. Winds whisper across the white plains. And there, barely visible, walks a lone polar bear. He doesn't roar. He doesn't run. He simply walks on. Because he must. For generations before him. For cubs yet to be born. For a world that still holds hope. We are all connected. What melts the Arctic, reaches every shore. Protect the polar bear. Protect the planet. Save the Arctic, and we save the future.